Hey guys, we take here Blueberry Hill. So here we are, we're finishing up the cutting of the walls. I decided that all the double walls that you see here, this is the spare bedroom area. The double walls make it a little more interesting to, I guess, insulate and just build out the wall. So I decided to cut one of the walls out so we can butt right against the single wall. And that'll let us insulate, build the wall better, and actually support the two containers, seam welding them together like you see me doing here. So what I went with 1/8 inch, 1 inch by 1 inch angle iron through all the containers. A couple of them I used 2 inch and 1.5 inch to span the gap. It's fairly strong. It actually makes the floor less vibrating. I don't know if you've been in containers, but when you thump around, everything seems to vibrate a little bit, even though it's supported and welded together. That'll get better as we add more structural stuff to it, and definitely when the floors go in. And when the walls are in and the insulation's up, spray foam is going to solve a lot of these problems. But here you see me doing a lot of stick welding. I've went through pounds and pounds of weld. So for the most part, all the containers are stitched on the inside with angle iron. It's a 1 inch angle iron, 1/8 of an inch thick. A couple of spots I used a little wider angle iron, all the way to 1.5, and I believe there's a couple of very small sections with 2 inch. The containers, unless you know, they have different structures. They either have channel or 1/2 inch plate, top and bottom, on the walls. They're not all the same. I think, if I was, doing this all over again, not gonna. I'd always want the containers with the rectangular support structure all around. The 1/2 inch ones are going to be a little bit of a chore, and you'll see that later on. I have to do probably beams on the second floor. You'll see that because both those containers are just 1/2 inch plate on top of the walls. So once you cut the center out, it's a little flippy floppy. But anyway. So I'm not going to bore you to death with showing all the welding here, but it's basically hours and several days of just putting this angle iron down. I roughly did a pair of containers per day with some extra stuff here and there. It's not hard, it's just a lot of repetitive stuff, and it actually cooled off. You can see a puddle along the door. It was raining when I was doing this, and when I'm doing this video, it's been pouring for a solid day, so not too much work going on right now. But I finished all the seaming of the containers together on the inside. They're weather tight, 99.9%. And the next step is to actually do the floor for the living room, and you'll see that in the next video. Anyway, thanks for watching this. I know it's probably not too exciting watching me stick weld the whole thing, but there'll be just a few minutes of this, and I'll show you my a couple of new toys that I have as well. So I like a clean environment when I'm working and just walking around. So here I am after I chiseled off the flux from the welds, brushed it as well. I started blowing out all the junk. I did this for every container. I just didn't show you everything. And it's kind of feels good to have everything clean and so you can walk around on the floors just without tripping on stuff. Tons of little rod and leftovers, right? Those go out the rear as well. We'll pick those up later. I basically went through, I'm on 70 pounds of 5/32 rod, so it's a little bit of welding there. So say hello to my little friend here. Here's a 4 horsepower DeWalt grinder. I decided to buy a 7-inch grinder, make life a little easier for us. Angie was using the smaller one in the prior video, and that would have taken forever. So 7-inch discs, and I'm grinding all these flat so we could bridge the gap here. You can see a little lip there, right? So it's different height than when I'm standing in. But here I put a 2-inch, I think an 1.5 inch angle, weld it in, and move on. There's a fun one. Angie and I are leveling out the floor. This is the upstairs. The one she's prying up on, that's actually a floating container. It's got a 26-foot gap underneath it, bridged across, of course, and it's supported where you see that piece of wood behind Angie. There's this goes down to the next container, straight down to the ground, of course. And here I was underneath on a ladder putting a shim up so we could level out the floor, so we didn't have to do a crazy weld bridge there. Anyway, big help, and it looks good. So jumping ahead a little bit, these are the last set of containers. I got a seam weld on the inside, the kitchen area. Pretty much most of the wall is gone on this one. I used the cutoff wheel to cut the higher spots here, so I didn't have to grind as hard with the 7-inch grinder. Still finished up with the grinder, of course, but anyway. Then I drop in the 90-degree angle iron and I weld my butt off for a couple hours. Here you see me doing the last little bit of welding, and this was near the end of the big multi-day weld session. So fun, and we're getting close here, guys. So the next bit of work is going to be doing the living room floor. That's a bunch of giant I-beams and 6-inch by 2 C-channels, and you'll see that shortly. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for more. We'll catch you later. Bye.